All right. Hope you guys can hear me. I am live for the first time on YouTube. Well, I guess second time. Second time. I did try this a little bit last week to see how it would work. A real quick, run through. So bear with me if this does not go well. Sentinel, how are you? I see you out there. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Um, Really do appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, guys. So this is, I hope, the beginning of, live streams. I don't know what day, I don't know what time. What's up, Timbo? Timbo, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I don't know what day, what time. This is kind of the first one, so we'll just kind of see how it goes. I have a brief, little kind of an outline of what I'd like to talk about tonight. Um, it's, I'm learning as we go, so please, excuse the mess, so to speak. Can you guys hear me all right? I'm just going right off my laptop here with the speaker and microphone that are on the laptop. Seemed to work pretty good last time. Yeah. Okay, good. Great. Thought about putting in headphones, but it seemed like it worked last time, so that's where we're at. All right, so it's we're a minute in already. Let's get started a little bit. So I kind of, eventually, I hope when this is over, I don't know how long it's going to go tonight, but I am going to save this to the channel. So I want to do just kind of a brief intro. I know some of you guys already. I do appreciate you stopping by. So I just wanted to start out with like, who am I and why am I here? So obviously I go by Diehard 3.75 or Tony Creek. You can call me Diehard, Tony, whatever you want to call me. I am an avid 118 and 3.75 inch collector. I've been collecting this scale probably since 1998. Give you a age range. I graduated high school in 97, and probably by 98, I had been kind of pulled back into action figures by the Power of the Force 2 stuff, Star Wars stuff. And for a few years, I just collected Power of the Force 2. And then it kind of branched out into G.I. Joe. A few years after that, it grew and it turned into Marvel Universe. And then next I knew, I was collecting almost every line at the 118 375 inch scale. High school 97 too. All right. All right. Yeah. So, right. Same age. Um, so that's kind of how it happened for me. I've been collecting again since probably like 98. So I have a huge collection of Star Wars action figures and G.I. Joe and Marvel Universe and all those kind of lines that are now kind of extinct. Yeah. um, so that was kind of how I started. Maybe, another time I'll get a little bit more into details on that. But now, if, you guys know the channel, I do collect almost every line that's 375, 118, mostly only modern, though, highly articulated stuff. I do dabble in, 5 points and O-rings here and there, but mostly modern, mostly realistic. So Star Wars Vintage Collection, Joy Toy, Acid Rain. I like the DC Spin Master stuff, the Jazzwares Halo, and some of the Fortnite stuff. Um, some of the Epic Heroes, Boss Fight Studio. I have a lot of the Zika Toys, Sectars, and Animal Warriors of the Kingdom when they were still doing 118, just to name some of the lines that I collect. So, why the channel, right? Why YouTube? Why put your face on a screen? Why do this? Um, well, it's for a couple reasons. One was obviously you guys. I know you guys from Instagram, and that's where I kind of started social media. I don't have any social media but the diehard Instagram and this diehard YouTube. I have no other social media. I'm not into social media. Um, but I decided after doing the lives on Instagram, and I was encouraged by a few of you guys, try to take it to YouTube. So that's kind of, why I'm doing it. Other motivations that I have though are, um, I really want to, when I went to YouTube and I started doing videos, was the point of it was to create content that I would want to watch. You guys know there's not that many 118 375 inch collectors out there. Only on Facebook for Marketplace. Yeah, I've thought about doing that too. I've thought about doing that too. Um, just for that reason, because some of the Fresh Monkey Fiction, Time Novel Legends, they have Facebook pages where they talk about sales and things. That's crossed my mind, but I haven't got there yet. Um, but the idea of the YouTube channel was to create content that I would want to watch. I feel like there's a giant like negative space in YouTube in the toy community in general when it comes to 118 and 375. Um, there's tons of 112, Marvel Legends guys, Black Series, McFarlane, the wrestling, the list goes on and on. Hot Toys, Mondo's growing 1/6 scale. But 118, 375, there's just not that many people. And then if you split up 118, take the Star Wars guys out, and 118 gets even smaller. It's even less. There's probably less than a few handfuls of people. um, so I thought, you know what? There's a hole there. There's a void. I have a lot of stuff. I do have a little bit of knowledge. I don't claim to know everything about everything, but I have a lot of stuff. I buy a lot of stuff. I've been collecting a long time, and there's a void there. And I thought, maybe there's an opportunity for me to make videos and talk about stuff that I like, which is mostly 118, because I watch a lot of the other 112 guys. I watch a lot of them, and they don't really, Robo don't know. He never goes below 6 inch, and more power to him. But there's just not that many people that talk about our scale, um, especially once you remove Star Wars from the equation. Um, so I thought, there's a chance there for me to come in and talk about the stuff that I like. And I know there's a lot of, I'm not the only one. I know, because when I try to buy stuff, it's always sold out, or I go to the store, it's gone. I know you guys are out there buying stuff just like I am, but there's just not a lot of us on YouTube. The other idea was, because there's this void of 118 and 375 inch people, by me creating a channel and like Skellywags TV or Awesome Action Toys or Boss Bounty, those are three of the bigger ones. Um, there's a chance to build a sense of community in 118 and 375, which is kind of what happened on Instagram, by doing live streams every other Sunday and meeting some of you guys and getting to talk to you and know you. Um, that was kind of, what my whole idea was behind the YouTube channel. So the channel, though, because it's different, there's the world building guys, there's the review guys, there's the haul guys. Um, I kind of wanted to be all of those things. So I do army building and world building. I like to do hauls. Um, I also do the overviews. I like to call them overviews because they're not so much reviews as much as I'm kind of just talking about the item rather than reviewing it like this is terrible kind of a thing. Um, I tend to want to only do videos that are kind of positive and like happy and like, this is a good deal, or you should try this, or I can recommend this. I don't want to do videos that like blast Hasbro or blast people. I would just not do the video. That's kind of how I operate, because the hobby is supposed to be happy. It's a diversion and it's an escape. So I really don't get too angry about action figures like a lot of people do. Thing on YouTube. Yeah, you have, Timbo. Yeah, you have. Scallywags is back. I saw a couple of his Warhammer videos. Yeah. Yeah. His news videos are what I love the most. And when he does Acid Rain, but only because I don't collect a lot of Warhammer. So those are kind of, uh, why I got into collecting, how long, why the channel. Um, so that's kind of what it's going to be about. It's always been about. I think I've got over 100 videos now, and I like to think they've gotten better. Um, and I'm still improving, and I plan on getting better. This is part of the hobby for me. So it's, it's not a job or anything. So I do it for fun when I have time. Um, but yeah, that's my intro. That's my sales pitch. You guys pretty much already know me, so you guys that are here now, so this might be for people that see it later, or they've only followed me on Instagram and are just coming over for the first time. So that's a little bit about me. Maybe in another live, I'll get a little more in depth of my early collecting and my past. Thank you, Timbo. Thank you. It's an adventure. It sure is. It sure is. So yeah, so that is my sort of my pitch. Um, so today though, after that, I'm like, oh, I've only been talking for 10 minutes. I did have a couple things I thought we'd talk about. Um, Hopefully I can figure out how to do that here. I'll share my screen with you guys. But there's a couple things that just kind of popped up in the last couple days. I did just do a haul video. Uh, I did a couple days ago, but I posted it yesterday. So I've got a lot of videos and things coming up. A lot of pre-orders are finally starting to come in. I've not been shopping at all, to be honest. The last 2 months, I really haven't bought anything at the stores. Um, just because they just haven't had anything and everything has been like online pre-orders now. Um, but let's see. Let me see if I can share my screen with you and show you a couple of things I thought we would just kind of discuss, and you guys can tell me what you think. So let's see. Let's try a window. Let's try this one. All right, I think you can see that. So I guess there was a big show in China this week or this past week, and the 52 toys they showed off. I am on the Toy Arc website. I'm sure you guys know about Toy Arc. I do usually go down here to the 375. I don't collect any other scale really, so I do check this out weekly. But the 52 toys. They have looks like they're going to be doing Street Fighter 6 figures. They look pretty awesome. I love Chun-Li here. There's Ryu or Ryu, however you guys pronounce that. They look pretty good. They look pretty good. I recently picked up the Streets of Rage new 52 or 52 toys figures. They're in my pile of loot right now, Big Bad, and I think they did the Captain Commando figures and a couple other lines, but they look really good. I don't see anything about a price, but I'm guessing they're probably going to be about $20 to $25. They look pretty good. I don't know. Are you guys interested at all in picking those up? Um, you should add a thrift store to your toy round. Yeah, maybe. Those are 6 inch. It says here that they're 375. I don't know. Are they 6 inch? It says here Street Fighter 6. I think it's Street Fighter 6, right? Or like Street Fighter Alpha, but in the 375-inch scale. That's how I'm reading it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and I can't read this little sign here. I can't read that, but you might be right, Sentinel. You might be right. But it does say there, I think, because you could see here it does say Street Fighter. I'm looking at the wrong screen. It does say Street Fighter 6 right there. There's so many Street Fighters too. I don't know the difference really in this Chun-Li in Street Fighter 6 from Street Fighter Alpha or Street Fighter, the original one, or but I'm pretty sure these are 375-inch scale. What's I thought was kind of cool too was I do have this guy here in the back here. This guy right here, he's in my pile of loot. I didn't grab these other two back here, but it looks like this guy might be 375 too. I don't know what that is, what line, what media this guy's from. He almost looks kind of Lego. It's like pieces of his armor. He looks kind of Lego. I don't really know what that is, but I think that's 375 as well. These guys here, they do look like they're 6 inch, but I'm pretty sure these are 375. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. But I'll definitely if they're 375, I'm definitely gonna get them. I'm definitely gonna get them. One of the other things that I saw this week. Oh, today I saw this on 118 Archive. I'm sure you guys are familiar with him on Instagram. He does have a website too. But he posted this today about these McFarlane Lord of the Rings of the something Hera. Um, Unfortunately, in one of them, he said that I think it was this one here, that they are only 6 points of articulation. But, I like the soft goods cape. I like the weapons. I like the Build-A-Figure. Um, I don't know. If these come in at at a good price, this might be good custom fodder. This could be, there could be something here. This Build-A-Figure looks pretty good. Some kind of orc. That sword looks good. Again, soft goods cape. I am interested in these. I'm curious. Let's say I'm curious about these. This is the first I've heard of them. 118 Archive, he's really good about, he's got his finger, he's got his finger on the pulse of the scale. Um, but we'll see. That helmet hammerhead looks like Odin. He does. That head sculpt, I'm sure you could pop that on a Marvel Universe. What if you had, I'm thinking of a recipe right now. If you had the Odin from the Thor movie, the first Thor movie, the Anthony Hopkins head, this might be one to exchange on that head. That looks pretty good. And the Build-A-Figure looks pretty good. Um, a big orc like that or whatever he is a snow troll. He doesn't necessarily, have to have as much articulation because he's a big monster. He doesn't necessarily have to have rocker ankles and, waist swivel and all that kind of stuff. And the weapons look good. It looks like, from this picture, you could pop Hera's head off here, slip off that soft goods cape, and that's a nice looking sword. There's a lot of meat on the bone, so to speak, in these, and just be curious what the price point is. If the price point is reasonable, you know it might be there. I don't see elbow bend. Yeah, I don't think they have elbows. It said 6 points, so I'm thinking, the original 5 with maybe a waist swivel. um It's hard to see where that 6th point is. There's probably one here at the head, the shoulders, the hips. Oh, maybe the knees. That would be 7 though, right? 2, 4, 6, 7. It said 6. So I don't know where that 6th point is. I don't know where that 6th point could be. If you guys know, let me know. Yeah, it says here, figures feature 6 points of articulation for maximum play value. What do you think of that statement, guys? Maximum play value. Little play on words there. I don't know if that's maximum, but they look good. McFarlane, even before he did, he does statues. The paint, the sculpt always looks great. He's always been pretty iffy with the articulation, but they look good. They look good. I don't know. I'll be curious to see. Okay, so we talked about that. I just saw those today, so I thought I might bring those up. This is one. So on the what is it? Let me see. Let's go to the Chicken Fried Toys website. You can look at their Facebook page here. And on the Facebook page, if you scroll down, you guys might have already seen this. I only watched part of this little live he did here today. If you get down here to their Kickstarter, right here, this piece, login to Kickstarter, if you click on that, it will take you to their private preview of the upcoming Kickstarter that I think is going to launch here in the next week or two. I'm not sure. Have you guys seen this yet? It is pretty interesting. He is taking comments right now. If you have a Kickstarter account, he is taking comments on the setup of the Kickstarter. He's looking for feedback, positive and negative. You can see you can leave your comments here on the side. Everyone can read them. He can respond to them. But if you close that, you can see the uh, the preliminary Kickstarter. I think he mentioned today on the live stream, like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing, but he is going to launch here pretty soon. And it looks pretty good. I think his goal here is 75,000. And I feel like that's reasonable. I feel like that's reasonable. Once you get to 100 or more, I, I, I doubt, in this economy, in this scale, it's tough. I know the Eons guys, they're doing that Woolly Mammoth 75. They're doing on backer kit, and they had to extend it. I'll have to check on that too later. But seeing this, are you interested at all? I think the chicken fried toys look cool, but I hear a lot of negative things. Yeah, yeah. Hey man, Pink Floyd, how are you? That's Fried. Yeah, that is him. That is him. I think it's JR. I think his name's JR, or is it JE? JE. That's different. JE. But yeah, this is it. If you go to their Kickstarter, you can see everything that he's offering. Of course, he says this is a preliminary. That's why the Q&A is open, because nothing's set in stone. So if you have a comment on it, if you have the time to read through this thing is really long. I'll just quickly fan through it so you can see how long this is. This thing is really, really long. We'll spend some time on it here. We have time, right? We're doing a live stream, but you can just see how long this is. He has a very long Kickstarter here. A lot to read. I just kind of flipped through it really quick, but it looks like right now it's just the horse. It's this horse right here. Blueberry is 50 bucks, probably plus shipping. And of course, you can put as much down as you want. Whatever unlocks after that, then with that money that you put, say you put 200 bucks, you can get anything that unlocks for your 200. So I think I'm at least going to get one horse, this one here. If things, open up more and more, I'm going to try to get more and more. But it depends within means, I'm not going to go crazy, but there's a lot of good stuff in here. There's horses in different colors. There's helmet packs. This is cool. You can make your, got the Native American blanket instead of a saddle. The Cobras, this play on G.I. Joe and Cobra, the Cowbra. Let me show you the one that really interests me. This one's cool. You can make one of the horses into a mule with this pack here. Put on a donkey head and donkey, legs. Make it a donkey. Let me check in with you guys here. Cowboy Cobras, yeah. Mostly they're rated at how long some have to wait. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. One of my biggest gripes with it was that the articulation is really good, but I just don't have a real need for cowboys and Western. But I did pick up his like World War One military guy. And I picked up the Texas Ranger, the modern Texas Ranger, like the Chuck Norris type, Walker Texas Ranger figure, and they're really good. I did originally back the first Kickstarter too, so I do have a full set of those figures minus one. I did trade one of them off, but I'll show you. So out of all the bucks that they have, I really like the buck with the boot. I don't care for the buck like this one. This is for me, this is like a reuse of that World War One figure that I have. I forgot his name now. He's like a colonel. Forget his name. But this figure right here looks really good. It says that this might be a Small Joe's exclusive. Right here, smalljoes.com exclusive. But it comes with a cannon and a figure. And this figure, like, he's got a shotgun with a bayonet, revolver, another knife. But this one looks really good. But I like the figures that have the boots. I don't care for the figures that have the Like this one has the boot. I really like that because he doesn't have a rocker ankle. These figures don't have rocker ankles. Um, no bicep swivel, no thigh swivel. They kind of remind me a little bit maybe of like the 25th anniversary Joes or like the Pursuit of Cobra Joes. But look, it's got a stagecoach, reminds me of Wells Fargo. Have you tried swap? No, I haven't. I haven't. The figure that I'm talking about too, the World War One, is from that same the Weird and Wacky Western Tales. There's like an alien, and I think Krampus is coming. So they're like not traditional Western ones, and I like those the best. I think those are the best. I'd like to see uh, Time Novel Legends go into more like a GI Joe. To be honest, that's why I think their cavalry ones are really good. They've got the boots, the custard, uh, the Colonel Custard or whatever, Custer's Last Stand. I said custard, I meant custard. But yeah, they got a stagecoach. Here's the Cobra guys. I do like this is that boot that I like. All blue. Got the hat, got the bandana. There's a different version here. You can see he's got more of a cowboy boot. Again, with the bandana, different hat. It's like a different rifle. But these look really good. Um, really good. This Dragoon right here, Crimson, looks like the Crimson Viper. I really like this figure. I really want this one. Got the small revolver, comes with the flag, sword. This figure looks awesome. And even this one, I totally see this guy here. I won't try to say his name there, but White Thunder Dragon. Um, Again, there's those boots like from the World War One sort of, I don't know what you call that, shin guards. This dude could totally be a Rashikage, GI Joe, um, hand, foot. Think of your Ninja Clan. This figure looks pretty good. Pretty good. Two swords, an axe. They've got packs, four figure pack. You can get a 10-figure pack. It looks good. There's a lot of stuff here, but you can see it stops. Where did he stop? It was right there. So I think the max is right here. 345 unlocks everything. I'm an optimist, but I don't think we're getting 345. Softmaster, yeah, there you go. That's another one. Steampunk robot would look cool. Yep. Yeah, see, that's a really good one. Wild Wild West type stuff. Or that there was a really good movie a couple of years ago, probably a while, Cowboys and Aliens with the guy from the James Bond guy. I forget his name. That was a pretty good movie too. Um, I wish they would go that way. Um, but he's trying to get a little bit of everything. I think that's what the Weird and Wacky Tales is. It was a good idea for a subline, but I think these figures look really good. I like the boot. I don't see one here. Maybe let me do a go back here. Let's see, in stock. That's a nice figure. Here's some of the aliens. So all these guys have the boot that I like. It is this. This is the pant. I have several with this pant here. I don't like this. I don't like this because he doesn't have a rocker ankle. And see how the pants kind of overhang a little bit of the boot. Always had a little bit trouble getting them in certain poses because you don't have the rocker, and then you have trouble keeping the foot flat with this cuff on the pant. And I think there's like three bucks. So I have this Sergeant Bill here, great figure, and I have this modern Texas Ranger right here, and they're both really good figures. Now the modern Texas Ranger does have that pant that I don't like, but that's pretty accurate to a pair of jeans over boots. You know what I mean? Um, and there's a lot of stuff here, but I prefer one of the boots, not just how it looks, but how you can pose the figure. And all these figures, these cavalrymen, they all look really, really good. He mentioned in one of the streams, though, I think a lot of these figures, they only do 500. It's a really small batch. So you've gotta back it when you can, kind of a thing. That looks good. A good body for Bruce Banner. Yeah, yeah. Daniel Craig. You're right. There he goes. Daniel Craig. That was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Um, but I would like to see them go a little bit more that way. Um, but there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. Um, so yeah, it's really interesting. So if you have time and you're interested, if you care enough about this Kickstarter, if you click on this little green tab here, you can post a comment. It looks like he is responding to them. Let's just take one for example. These look fantastic. I especially love the figure offerings and hope we make it all the way. Yeah, I mean, I think we always hope so. This Kickstarter has been delayed months, months and months. I think it was supposed to come out first quarter of this year. We're now in the last quarter, and it still hasn't launched yet, but it sounds like it's imminent. This is kind of the final step before he does it. So yeah, if you're interested, I would read up, but I'm definitely gonna back it and try to get this horse here, at least this horse. Hopefully it backs and it funds. And if it does, then maybe on one of these next live streams or something, we can talk about it. But I am hoping to get at least that horse. I'd love to compare this horse to the Joy Toy horse and the Boss Fight Studio horse. It's kind of hard to tell from these renderings, just how good or bad they are. Um, but yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. You guys thinking about backing it? All right, Timbo. Thanks for stopping by, Timbo. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. They have aliens. Yeah, they do. They look good. I think they glow in the dark too. Um, I think he glows in the dark. Let's see. Glows in the dark, which is really cool. It's really cool. The only alien I kind of have like this is that guy from Fortnite in the suit. Um, but this one looks pretty good. Very skinny, long arms, big head, big eyes, glows in the dark. I like the ray gun. I like the laser gun. Looks like the laser gun glows too. In this photo, you would think that it does glow right there. Um, but yeah, it looks pretty good. So you guys think about backing it? But a little out of my price range, yeah. That's exactly how I feel too. That's why I'm hoping he goes more of the aliens route or soldier, just like soldiers, just straight up soldiers, whether it's World War One, two. I like the cavalrymen. He did have some, it looked like some like saloon girls and things like that. And I just don't think those are going to do well personally. I'm all for female figures and I like female figures, but I just don't think that's the market's there for those. I could be completely wrong. I don't know any of his sales or anything, but I think I'm going to try to at least grab a horse. I think I'm going to back for at least a horse. Hey, Wilhelm, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. I didn't get to watch your show today. It was family time all day today. Collectors always like female figures. They do, they do. And I think let's go back here. I think on his Facebook page, he does show off some of the females. I'm just not. Wow, look at this one. Doesn't that look great? Man, I want that. I say I'm not into cowboys and Indians, but I see that and I go, I want that. I want that. But I just didn't think the design of the females. There's the Krampus Cowboy Kringle. It's another figure. I think that they would, but maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be really successful. Oh, that looks great. I don't want to scroll all this whole time, and I should have had that prepared. But I think the females. I hope they do well. I hope they do well. Becoming native set, yeah, they look really good, man. They look really good. But again, the price range, because he is a small market or small quantities, independent toy maker, it looks like they're about $30 a piece. which, I'll do, but it's got to be pretty good. Yeah, the cannons look great too. I know. That's why I think the thing that caught my eye the most was that Small Joe's exclusive, um, because the soldier looks really, really good, and he comes with the cannon. I don't know how to say that. Cassian, but that guy looks great. Love that. Love a soldier, just a GI Joe. He's just a GI Joe, but he comes with the cannon. That's awesome, man. So figure and big accessory. It says it looks like it's going to be about 65 bucks if it gets unlocked. If it gets unlocked. So, man, I hope he makes it. I hope he makes it. The Joy Toy Astro female figures can sell it first. That's true. That's a great point. Brent Banks, welcome to the party. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point. The only caveat I would add to that though is those girls usually are like kick-ass girls. They can fight, and the girls that he showed were saloon girls, for lack of a better word, I'll say ladies of the night, um, those type of women in dresses and bustiers, if you will. If I'm saying that right, my wife will correct me. Or corsets. So I don't know if it'll be quite the same, but you could always use those figures as civilians and background characters, and a lot of these are great for stripping down for customs. But you're right. You're right. The females always sell at the acid rain. They're probably the most popular figures, um, and I have a lot of them, and they're worth it. They're really good. Green Valley figures too. That's a good point. Green Valley does a lot of females, but they're too fragile for that price. Yeah, they're great figures though. I have 4 Green Valley figures. I only have 4. World's oldest profession. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But that's a good point about the females do always sell out first. A lot of lines they do. And I think wasn't it like even the Marvel Legends that the best figure last year, I saw a lot of people, it was the Black Widow version, uh, or the newer Black Widow. So that's a good point. That's a good point. It's hard to read it, so we'll see. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to back it. Hopefully, I can get at least a few horses out of it, and I hope that cannon and that soldier. I didn't understand. It says here it's a Small Joe's exclusive, but it might still have to fund. That's the wording here. I don't quite understand, because it's like if he gets to 225, it unlocks the cannon and soldier, but it's going to be a Small Joe exclusive after Kickstarter. So I don't know what that means. But I definitely want this set. Probably 2 of them if I can afford it, there's no guarantee. Um, the Black Widow. Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, so we spent some time on that. One other thing I wanted to talk about was the Star Wars Vintage Collection, because that is one of, if not my favorite line to collect. And as you guys probably know, the last figure standing voting started today. So I would try to explain this to you guys, but I'm not totally in the know. But the what is it? The Star Wars Vintage Collection Facebook team teamed with Bantha Skull, and I know Boss Bounty has helped promote this along with Victoria's Cantina and some of the other bigger Star Wars 118 375 YouTubers, and they took in thousands of uh, thousands of lists of figures that people wanted, their top 10. They aggregated it somehow in some kind of Google spreadsheet, and these were the top 12 figures that those thousands of ballots wanted. I can tell you, when there are only three figures of this 12 that I voted for, maybe 4. So 4 of these 12 were on my list. Did you guys submit a list? Yes, Boss Bounty. He's probably my favorite Star Wars guy, easily. I mentioned earlier, Tech. I don't know if when you Tech 48.9. I don't know when you got here, but um, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because there isn't a lot of 118 people doing YouTube, especially if you subtract the Star Wars guys like Boss Bounty. There's a huge drop off once you remove Star Wars. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing, my channel, because I do like a lot of other lines, even though the Star Wars Vintage Collection is probably, if not my favorite, right up there with, Acid Rain and some of the Joy Toy stuff. Um, I mostly collect 112 SH Figure Arts and Figma. Which got me to start back up in 118. Cool. Cool. Gundam Infantry. That's cool. Make a new Ventress. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll tell you guys. So the figures on here on this list, these top 12, I had the Snowtrooper, the Stranger, Ventress, and Luthen. And this first round, you were supposed to vote for your top 6. So you can pick half of these guys, which I thought would be fun if I do it right now. And I'll share my 6 with you. I am diehard3.75@gmail.com. So that's my email. It's right on my YouTube page. If you guys ever want to email me, that is my email. So my top 6, and this is actually a tough choice because the Bad Batch is on here. That makes it tough. You've got 3 of the Bad Batch, and you can only pick 6. And I mentioned to you guys 4 of these are already on my list, so I've got to cut a few out. I will tell you that my most wanted figure out of this whole list is Ventress. I think I have every single Ventress that's ever been made at 375, but they've never done a vintage collection Ventress before. So I have the Clone Wars ones, I have the comic 2-pack ones. I have all of them, but they've never done a Ventress. I would love to see them do Ventress at 118 vintage collection, give her the vintage collection treatment. So she's on my list. Absolutely. It's difficult to find good wing team. I've been sub to for. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Tech. Thank you. It doesn't show me, who subscribes. Like every now and then it will say one, but I don't, really see everyone. But thank you. I appreciate it. So Ventress, she's on my list. I love, love, love a good army builder. That's one of the things I like to do on my channel and I haven't done one. I have a video. I was about to do it of my latest army builds. I have to get a vintage collection, all modern Snowtrooper. I need these guys. I need them. So they're on my list. I've got 4 left to pick. And here it gets a little tougher because I definitely want the Bad Batch guys. I love the show. They'd be great characters. I saw what they did with the Black Series ones, and they look so good. I like Baze. Baze is a really good figure. Maybe I can do this backwards, though. I have a lot of Obi-Wan Kenobis. I've got a lot of Anakins. And I know they both say episode 3, but I've got a lot of Anakins and a lot of Obi-Wan, so I'm not picking them. I love 3PO, but no, I don't need another 3PO. So I'm gonna go Bad Batch. I'm gonna go Tech. I'm gonna go Crosshair, and I'm gonna go Wrecker. And this might surprise you guys, but I'm gonna go the Stranger. I didn't like Acolyte at all. I thought the best thing about the Acolyte was the design of the Stranger, the helmet, how he looked. Of course, the scenery was cool. The planets were cool. The spaceships were cool. I didn't care for the story or anything, but I really did like how the Stranger looked. A reissue of Darth Plagueis would be awesome. I do have a one Darth Plagueis. He's still in package. I have to be very careful with that one because it's that Black Series one where the bubbles pop off. So he is in a safe spot, but I only ever got one, so I never opened him up. They definitely need him. Um, I want a Darth Scion in the Stranger. Yep, I want the Stranger too. I collect NECA horror figures. Oh, that's cool. But I got the Phantom for boss fight, and now I want others. Yeah, the Phantom figures are really good. They haven't really announced anything too. Maybe that's a topic for another stream. Where are the hero hacks? What is going on with the hero hacks? I haven't heard anything about the hero hacks. I mean, no Flash Gordons, no Phantoms, no more Zoros. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Yes. So I think that's my 6, guys. I think I'm going the Stranger. I'm going Bad Batch. I'm going Snow Trooper. I'm going Ventress. I'm submitting. Oh man, traffic lights. Here we go. I got it in one shot. And there we go, guys. We did it. We picked our 6. What do you guys think of my 6? Not trying to influence anyone. But yeah, you know who I had on my list, and I know no one wanted. I vote Ventress 6 times. I know that would be cool, huh? They've got to give us a Ventress. They have so many versions of Ventress they can do. You know, there's the Clone Wars, there's the Micro Series, the Bad Batch version. She changed her outfit right in the last season of Clone Wars compared to the first season of Clone Wars. They got a lot of the comic book version. They've got a lot of versions they can do. I'm assuming they probably pick Bad Batch or the traditional, like her season 1, 2, 3 Clone Wars version. I'm guessing that's what they would do, but who knows? You know, you think about someone like Grief Karga. They gave us the season 2 Grief Karga instead of the season 1. They have a weird way of I don't know how they pick, you know. A good choice. Thank you. I think so, right? You can't go wrong. There's a lot of good ones there. But that was my pick. But I was gonna say, you know who was on my list, and I know no one wants them. I didn't get to watch any YouTube today, so I missed Outer Multiverse. I missed Brian's stream. I missed Wilhelm's stream, and I didn't see. I think Boss Bounty did a special stream on this Last Figure Standing, but I think I was probably the only one who put Toro Calican. You remember Toro Calican? I think it was season 1. Was it season 1 or season 2 of Mando, the smart ass kid who gets murfed at the end of the episode by Mando because he tries to shoot Grogu, takes him hostage, and Pelimoto and all that. Did you finish the remodel? Almost, almost. I still need my shelves here, and I got a new chair, but it has wheels and I can't roll that chair in this room yet until I get the glass piece. So I've got 2 more things, kind of steps to do before the room's finished, but Bill's kind of caught up with me and pre-orders and some other things, personal stuff that I've had to take care of. So I've not finished the room yet. The one that shot Finnick, yes, the one that shot Finnick, who a lot of people hated that character, but I liked him. He was a young punk. I've had to deal with a lot of young punks in my own life. And so the guy, his character was close to heart, I was like, oh, I know people just like that, and he ended up dead in the end. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much, he flipped sides. He was all talk, very irrational, money hungry, got killed in the end. I loved it, but I had him on my list. I knew he wasn't going to make the top anything. Most people don't even know his name, but I always liked the character, the punk that was annoying. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah, he stuck with me. I was like, you know what? I hate that guy, but I like it. I like the character. I should have been out a little longer. Yeah, maybe, huh? Maybe. They didn't prolong that character, they didn't drag him along. He started the episode, he didn't get out of the episode. He was one and done, but I want that character. He'll never be made. He'd be a good custom though. He'd be a good custom if I could get something like that put together. But yeah, he was on my list. I knew he wasn't gonna make it. Pelimoto, yeah, that's a good one too. That's a really good one. Yeah. Um, which I'm surprised. I was thinking maybe, and I read this somewhere. This is my idea. Someone said maybe the mechanic version of the OSHA that just came out for the Acolyte, that maybe that buck could be used for a Pelimoto. I don't know because they're both kind of mechanics, so I think some of their garb is very similar. I think, but I kind of thought that the terrible peg warming Rose Tico figure also has that kind of an outfit too, like that sort of jumpsuit kind of uh, mechanic outfit. Um, I shouldn't even bring up Rose Tico, but same idea, female mechanic um, in a sort of bland, sort of onesie type outfit. Deluxe with some cheat and a card pit droid. Yeah, that would make a great because they haven't done the pit droids in vintage collection. Um, hopefully they would add some articulation to them. They wouldn't be 5 points, but I bet you what they would do. I'm just guessing now. They'd probably give you one that was folded that didn't move, and then give you a couple that were 5 points. Um, but you could have one that was in the already folded up, hit it in the nose type thing, um, and throw those in there too and call it a deluxe, you know. But yeah, that's a good one too. I'm surprised now that you say that. I didn't think about that. A lot of people have asked for her, um, but she didn't make the list. But I'd have to watch that Boss Bounty because I'm sure last year they went over kind of the top like 50 or so, but then the top 12 only it was supposed to be only 10 make the list, but 12. I think the voting was really close there at the 10, 11, 12, so they put 12 in, was how I understood it. So you know um those are my picks. I think Ventress won March Madness once before, right? So maybe she's high on the list, that Hasbro should know by now that that figure is sought after. And some of the other versions aren't bad, but they are a bit expensive and they're of their time. So a lot of them, they don't have the ankles, a lot of swivel here, swivel there. I think one of them, they have the really hard capes, so no sitting down, no real athletic poses that she would need because she's kind of like a ninja. No beer today. Coffee. And my wife said, "You're not going to get a beer for this one." And I was, to be honest, guys, I was a little nervous um, doing this because it's a new stage. It's kind of a new thing, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Uh, but I wanted to try it. Um, and I want to be do more. All those things I talked about in the beginning of of this stream. I'd like to get there, eventually. Um, and hopefully we will. Hopefully we'll there, and you guys are along for the ride. And I appreciate you guys coming. There is no stream without you guys coming. There's no channel without you guys subscribing. So I appreciate it. I have a lot of videos that I want to do. Um, I want to do this, often. I don't know how often, but I do. I do. But yeah, no beer tonight. I've gotten really busy at work, and Mondays used to be kind of slow, but I'm expecting to be really busy now on Mondays. So um, it's changing. My schedule's kind of changing. The truth is nobody knows. I know, huh? We're 118, man. We're like the forgotten, child kind of that, and that's why I thought, there's not a lot of people doing this at our scale. There's tons of toy tubers, right? I mean, there's so many. Um, but there's not that many 118 guys. I'm glad Wilhelm stopped by. I don't know if he's still here, but he has a great channel. He does a great show. Um, I think it's probably the best, 118 live stream. Um, Awesome Action Toys. He doesn't really do live streams. Skelly doesn't do live streams. Um, Obviously Boss Bounty does, but his reach is quite bigger, and he only does Star Wars. Um, so another one that I like to watch, I think I mentioned his name. I like to watch Only One Kenobi, but again, he just does Star Wars. Um, so there's just not a lot of 118 guys that do live streams. Brian Outer Multiverse, yeah, and the World Maker guys. Um, uh, Rad Toys. I froze there for a second. Rad Toys. So what? That's three, right? There's three guys that do 118, and if you add Boss Bounty, um, that's four. And now I kind of put my name in the hat. So um, yeah, I'd like to do this more often. I don't know if it will be news or like this. We'll just talk, or I'll pick a topic. I haven't quite got there yet. High Toys have some good figures. Yeah, they do. Skelly's a top class, but doesn't put out enough content. Yeah, he doesn't. I love Skelly's videos. He's one of the reasons I kind of got into this too. He really turned me on to Acid Rain. Um, he made a video. I told him this too. The one time I've chatted with him like once or twice. He did a video on it's called The Angels Born in Hell. And I told him that was one of the best videos he's ever done. The music, the pictures, the narration, and the review. He also did a review in it. And I think it ended up being his figure of the year in 21 or 22. So a couple of years ago, but it was a great video. And it was so good, I bought that figure. And I was like, you're right, it was great. Um, have you seen doesn't have you seen Only One Kenobi doesn't review the figures, he only puts them. Yeah, yeah, that's his style. That's his style. He does the shelf indulgence. Um, and I love his singing. He's a really good singer. Um, yeah, everyone has their different, style. And that's why I mean, there's room, right? There's room for everybody. There's room for everybody. Um, because there's a lot of things that 118 stuff that I don't collect. Um, and I know that there's other people that 118 guys that don't collect what I do. So I think there's room there. But yeah, Only One Kenobi, he pretty much talks about the figure. I think he's a completionist too. I'm not a completionist, not for any line. I do pass on a lot. It doesn't, if you watch my haul videos, you're probably like, he doesn't really pass a lot, but I do. I really do. Um, a lot, sometimes that's just because of how much things cost, but also because I don't feel like I need everyone. Um, I changed my mind actually. The OSHA figure that I was just talking about on TBC, I passed on that one. I was like, I don't think I need it. I kind of regret it now because it comes with that little pit droid. I kind of wanted him, but not for $17. Empire Toy Works, yes. Sky Bottom, yeah. Sky Bottom hasn't really done anything for a while. I miss him. Yeah. Yeah, Empire Toy Works got me into it. I have a lot of Empire Toy Works stuff. That was kind of what the how the channel started. So when I started this channel, I didn't really want to do overviews or reviews. I wanted to just show my collection, but I found that no one watched those videos. Um, but if I, talked about a figure and I brought it out and I opened it, and then people watched those. So then I was like, well, I guess I will do reviews or overviews. Um, and that's kind of how that happened because like the world maker guys, sometimes I just want to look at people's world building, like what Outer Multiverse, what Brian does. Um, but sometimes I do when I'm like, do I want to buy that figure? And I'll go and try to find someone who's done a video on it. So um, yeah, I pick and choose. That's what I got to do. Yeah. Yes. I was so surprised. He has been putting out a lot of stuff. I went to his page and there was like 5 or 6 things up. Couple flat buildings, couple droids, and then there was that big building with the landing pad. I have something similar from him, um, but it sold. I was surprised it sold quick. It was expensive too. I like live action based figures, so yeah, yeah. I prefer realistic stuff too, but I dabble. I'll show you guys. Today, I broke down and I bought this because it was on clearance. I did end up buying this. Whoops, wrong way. I did end up buying this today. It was $7. It's not realistic looking, but I couldn't help it. I haven't bought anything at a store in a long time. So I picked up this guy today. But I do prefer realistic looking figures. Um, but I dabble. I do. I do. But that usually cancels one out, right? If it's too uh, unrealistic, then I won't get it, or I won't consider it. But yeah, I started by doing a lot of my stuff that I've already bought. I still have a lot of stuff, but I did get a little bit of negative, you know, comments and stuff. I've deleted them; they're not there, but I did get a few things. So I thought maybe always showing stuff that I bought, like I it's hard. There's a thin line between like sharing and people perceiving it as sharing and maybe showing off. And I don't ever want to show off. I don't ever want to act like like it's not like that. And if any of that kind of blows back, then I'd rather not show it. Just like I mentioned earlier about the negative videos. If a figure is so bad, if it's so negative, I won't do a video on it. It's just there's no point to do 10 minutes, 15 minutes saying how terrible something is. Some people get off on that, some people like it, but I hope that on my channel you won't find that kind of stuff. Because I just don't like it. This is supposed to be, I always say this is a pleasure pursuit. An escape. So if it goes into a negative thing, then I'm out. I'm done. I have enough of that in my real life that I don't want to hear. Um, Joy Toy Ninja Turtles. Yeah. So they shipped my Joy Toy Ninja Turtles. I'm expecting them any day now. Any day now. Yeah, 112 for detail, but 118 for world building. Yeah, it kind of goes that way. When I see like what they can do with like some of the Black Series stuff, and I'm like, man, I wish. And this is mostly a Hasbro because like butterfly joints, um, drop down hips, they can all be done at 118, but Hasbro doesn't really want to go there. But Acid Rain or Joy Toy will. Um, you know, some of, but I'd say the TVC stuff though has gotten a lot better. Uh, yeah, they're more fun to pose. So this was part of something I left out in the beginning, and I think I'm getting close to wrapping this up because I don't want to take you guys too long tonight. It is Sunday night. But when I was a kid, it didn't really matter if it was Joe or Star Wars or Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon or Dungeons and Dragons or um, Adventure People or if the scale was the most important thing. I put all my figures in a bucket in a bag, and when I go to grandma's house, I would take that bag with me. And so scale was always the most important thing, and it still is to me. I love that a Boss Fight Studio figure, a Hero Hack Flash Gordon can sit in my Razor Crest or my Millennium Falcon. That's more important to me than if it's 1/12 or not, or it scales the most important thing to me. Always has been because I grew up with He-Man, Thundercats. I had the Rambo figures, I had Sectars, I had Musclemen, I had wrestling figures. I had, I was, I'd always think I had a lot of stuff, and then I meet a kid who had way more, and I'd be like, man, I don't have that much. But if I went to grandma's house, they'd be like, man, you have so many of these toys, and I'd be like, have you seen that kid over there? He's got the flag, Um, I had to drop down hips. Yep. Yep, they did. They did for the Joes. Yeah, that's probably so the next video I probably do is probably going to be like the Cobra Commander or the Firefly. Because I have a lot of Fireflies and Cobra Commander. So my video is probably going to be the Haya one and all of the other ones that I have. And I've got, the 25th anniversary, the Pursuit of Cobra, Retaliation, um, Renegades, all of them. I've got so many of them. So it's going to be a fun video. It'll probably be a little bit long, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And I've tried to stay away from a lot of the other Joe videos so that I can kind of have a fresh mind when I get to it. But I do believe that they all have drop down hips. Yeah. Yeah, $19 Walmart brand space station toy. It probably is. I'm not sure I know which space station, but it probably could be. Yeah. Did you get a head count on your figures? Uh, do you have a head count on your figures? I don't. I don't. I have a lot. I have a lot. I don't know how many I have. I'm actually in the midst of purging my mint on card Star Wars collection. I think I'm just going to go down to like TVC and all of my older stuff, like movie related, movie lines, Power of the Force, Power of the Jedi, Black Series, uh, 30th anniversary, original trilogy. I'm going to kind of weed it out. Going to probably sell some of it. And what I don't sell, I'm probably going to open, and then I'm going to keep the TBC stuff that I have mint on card, because it's just so much, and I've been collecting for so long. And I always wonder, a Power of the Force 2, name the character Darth Vader. Although I will say this, and you guys might know, I do have a couple long sabers um, that I have to weed out, that I probably won't sell, or I might, but I don't think so. But you know, um, there's so many Power of the Force 2 stuff. I go to stores and I still see rows of them. I don't think they really held any value. Um, but I am going to be purging the collection here pretty soon. I actually have started a little box over here um, of stuff, and it's got like Attack of the Clones stuff, Phantom Menace stuff, that kind of stuff. Especially if they have since made a TVC figure of it that's highly articulated and um, has the new face print technology and rocker hips and all that kind of stuff, then I probably am going to get rid of it unless it has value like a long saber Vader or Luke or something like that. Just because I just don't have room anymore. But yeah, so it looks like there's still a couple of you guys here. Thank you guys for stopping by. We've gone a little over an hour. I was a little worried, that I'd be talking to myself tonight. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to try to do these. I haven't quite figured it out yet, like what day and what time and how often, but I do would like to do something kind of on a more of a schedule, something that we can both kind of count on. That it's that day I'm going to hang out with Die Hard for an hour today, because that's what it is. It's kind of a hangout and just talking 118, because there's just not a lot of people talking 118. There's not enough of us, and we need to throw our weight around a little bit. God scale, right? That's what Wilhelm God scale. Um, so yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think I'm gonna get out of here. It needs some customization, but it's not great observation. Okay. Yeah, some of those things are great, just taking the parts and putting them on other stuff. Whatever you decide. Thanks, Tech. Thank you, Tech. Pink Floyd, Brent Banks, Sentinel, thank you. I do appreciate you guys hanging out. Looks like there's somebody else here, but it's all good. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. I'm gonna save this down to the channel. If you missed any of it, please go back and watch the beginning. I kind of did the old "Who am I" kind of a thing. But I do appreciate you guys. I do. Thank you so much. Feel free to message me anytime on Instagram, or you saw my email, diehard3.75@gmail.com. And I'll see you next time. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Bye.